Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video. And in today's video we are talking about gear sets. This is something that's super exciting. I was actually on a stream with Hamish this morning. We were just playing leveling our second characters. And Yannick jumped on and gave us a little bit of a surprise, said that later on today he will be dropping some information about the upcoming gear sets, what they look like and also their available talents. And that information has just dropped right now in the form of this image here. This basically shows off what the 4 armor sets look like. Admittedly, they are a little bit covered, so you can't see them in all their glory. That much we'll have to kind of wait until next week. But it does give you a breakdown of their bonuses and the special gear-specific talent. Because if you guys missed the information, basically gear sets are designed to be worn as a set. And if you wear at least 4 pieces, they will have a really powerful talent that you cannot find anywhere else in the game. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is run through the 4 different sets and give you a quick explanation of them. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then don't forget to drop a like and also let me know in the comments down below which of the 4 sets you are most excited for, which one you're definitely going to be trying to grab on day 1. So to begin with, as a super quick recap, there are 4 different gear sets. Striker's Battle Gear, Tactician's Authority, Sentry's Call and Path of the Nomad. Now Striker's Battle Gear is considered the Combat Assault set, Tactician's Authority is the Skill Power set, Sentry's Call is the Marksman set, and Path of the Nomad is the set you get in the Dark Zone. So let's start off with the Striker's Battle Gear because that's on the left and we'll work from there. And plus this is the one that we've actually seen most in the gameplay because you can see this depicted by the kind of white and black gear set that they've actually got. This was shown during some of the footage of the incursion. Now to begin with, it's important to realise that gear sets, as mentioned, are designed to be worn as a set. So unlike high-end items you have right now, where they have individual bonuses and you might throw on one piece and it's already got its uses, gear sets will not be useful unless you use them as a set. So you wouldn't just take one piece of, say, Striker's Battle Gear and run with it because you would basically be wasting a slot. However, with that being said, you actually get bonuses for having 2 pieces, 3 pieces and 4 pieces equipped. So while there are 6 pieces per set, the most efficient players out there will actually get most bonuses out of having, say, just 4 pieces and then throwing on 2 high-end pieces because of course that means you can throw some extra bonuses into the mix. But regardless, starting off with Striker's Battle Gear, firstly, if you have 2 pieces equipped, then you'll gain 20% enemy armor damage. Now, it does state here enemy and it doesn't say player, nor does it say elite enemy, so it could well be something that applies across the board. However, if it works anything like destructive, this will likely only be a PvE talent. But regardless, a flat 20% damage increase to enemy armor simply by wearing 2 pieces of this gear. Then if you have 3 pieces, you gain 100% critical hit damage. That is pretty insane. That basically means if you're running, say, like an SMG build and you're up in their face and you have, say, a weapon talent that increased your critical hit chance, then getting 100% critical hit damage is going to be pretty nuts. However, if you have 4 pieces equipped, you then get the special gear talent. This one's called Shooter, and it says that every consecutive hit deals 1% more damage, and this stacks up to 100%. However, missing shots drops the bonus by 2%, and the bonus is reduced by 1% every second. So let's say, for example, you have something like an SMG with a big magazine, or you have an LMG with something ridiculous like 80 to 100 bullets, then piling shots into your enemy, every single shot you deal will deal 1% more damage each time, which means by the time you get to the end of the magazine, you are dealing far more damage than when you were at the beginning. So that is going to be pretty lethal, especially against some of those bosses. Now moving over to the next set, the Tactician's Authority, this is the skill power or the support set. Equipping 2 pieces of this will give you plus 4,000 skill power. That is a nuts increase simply for throwing on 2 pieces of gear. That's more than you get normally by just throwing on 2 pieces of gear. So that is definitely something that skill power players out there are going to be super happy about. Throwing on a 3rd piece will give you plus 20% skill haste. And for those of you guys wondering, skill haste is basically the rate at which your skills recharge. That basically means you have a 20% increase on skill recharge. And finally, your set bonus is called Tactician's Authority. Every 60k damage your group deals adds 1% skill power to you for a max of 100% bonus. Bonus is reduced by 1% every second that the group isn't dealing damage. So effectively, this is of course the support set. That means if you're sitting there and your group is dealing damage, then collectively they are increasing your skill power. So were you to run this with something like, say, the Sticky Bomb and the BFB mod, if you already had, say, 40k skill power and you were doing pretty nasty damage, pair that with the fact that your team are then dealing damage, you can then throw this on to, say, like a boss, and by the end of it, by the time that your team have emptied out their magazines, your skill is going to do some pretty insane damage. Now, moving over to the Sentry's Call, this is of course the Marksman set. Firstly, simply by having 2 pieces equipped, you get a 30% increase to headshot damage, and of course if you are Spectre Marksman and you've got a ridiculously high firearm number anyway, this is going to be a really welcome bonus. Plus, if you then have 3 pieces, you will then get plus 20% damage to elites. So of course, again, if you're using this in an incursion and you can then get a nice headshot on an enemy, you're doing 30% damage on their headshot plus 20% flat damage on top. And then your set bonus is called Stalker. Headshots mark the enemy, increasing the damage inflicted on the target by 15% for a duration of 10 seconds each. A target can receive up to 3 marks. So if you can stack consecutive headshots, then you are also increasing the damage that is inflicted on that target. Now, it doesn't say here whether it increases it for you specifically or your team. Given that these sets do seem to work as a team, I would lean more towards that being the fact. And if that is the case, it basically means by shooting the enemy in the head, you're making them more vulnerable for everyone else in your team. Really, really cool. Now finally, moving over to the Path of the Nomad. As a recap, this is of course the Dark Zone set, so it's designed for players that run through the Dark Zone a lot of the time, and this is the set that you'll get primarily from the Dark Zone, whereas the other pieces you will get from crafting, challenge mode, and of course the incursion itself. By equipping 2 pieces of the Nomad set, you get plus 50% scavenging. That's just flat on top of everything. So of course, if you are running around opening chests, killing bosses, then that should increase the quality of your drops. Then if you equip 3 pieces, you get plus 20% health on kill, which is quite a considerable thing. So of course, if you are running around, be that alone or as a group, and you kill enemies, you kill players, then of course you're getting plus 20% health back, which is a considerable chunk. And that is of course especially useful if, say, you got ambushed and you're able to take out one of the players. It could give you back enough health to, say, get away and, retreat. But if you equip 4 pieces, you have the special talent called Nomad, and this one is absolutely insane. When receiving fatal damage, you are instead healed to full health, but this can only occur once every 10 minutes. So if you just process that for a second, this basically means if you were, say, a solo player and some rogues decided to ambush you and they were about to kill you, let's say they did like the fatal blow and you were about to run out of health, instead of dying, you would then fully heal, and that would then give you the opportunity to either turn around and fight or just simply retreat. Now do bear in mind this does only occur every 10 minutes, so you won't suddenly be doing this all the time. That is an even longer cooldown than, say, a signature skill, and I imagine because it's not an actual skill, it's an actual talent, it's not something that you can, say, increase the recharge of, so it is a fixed 10 minutes, but regardless, that does mean if you haven't used it and it's not on cooldown, then it is kind of like a second life that will allow you to get out. So that is a really cool talent, and these are some really cool sets. And also remember that these are designed to be used exactly like that, as sets. But you do also have bonuses at different thresholds, so that could also promote mixing sets. Let's say, for example, I myself am most interested in the Striker's Battle Gear and the Path of the Nomad simply because I spend a lot of time in the Dark Zone, but I'm also the kind of combat assault tank style player. However, in a PvE situation, what I could then do is take, say, 4 pieces of Striker's Battle Gear to get the enemy armor damage, the critical hit damage, and the shooter bonus. Plus, I could then grab, say, 2 pieces from Sentry's Call to grab the 30% headshot damage. That's 6 pieces of armor, that fits into my normal slots. But I then get 3 bonuses, and that could work out pretty nicely. So, of course, do bear in mind you are free to mix and match these however you like, so that could create some pretty interesting combinations. But regardless, those are the 4 sets, and this is what they look like. And that is what we have to look forward to next week. Again, as a super quick reminder, the Nomad set comes primarily from the Dark Zone, whereas the other sets will come from a mixture of incursions, challenge mode, crafting, and some other sources too. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below which set or which sets you are most excited about. Thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.